So I have the privilege of co-presenting this morning with Area Governor, Assistant Governor Dean Scott. Dean has been a Rotarian since 1998. He was the club president of South Jacksonville in 2010 to 2011. He's Assistant Governor 2017 to 2020 for Area 6. He's a member of the Funds and Procedures Committee for 2019 to 2022. He's chair of the Awards Committee this year, 2019 to 2020. His classification is Architect Commercial, and he is the owner of his own business, R. Dean Scott Architect, Inc. He has been a great role model for me, and he's an all-around good person. And Rotary and South Jacksonville are blessed to have him as a member. Dean Scott.
Thanks, B. You read that just as I wrote it. That was nice of you to do that. Every time I look at B, I just want to smile. And then I feel inadequate about my own Rotarianism, because she is a model Rotarian and is such a great blessing for our club and our district. Rotary is a family affair with B. Her husband, Peter, is often accompanying her at our meetings and events. She is dedicated to her family. Her daughter, Lori, is a member of Rotary as well. She has championed Rotary Youth Exchange in our club and in our district. And few things in Rotary really embody the essence of Rotary than Rotary Youth Exchange. So I enjoy hearing from the Youth Exchange students. I enjoy hearing stories from our outbound youth when they come home. It's such a great program. B loves to travel, and she can tell you how to avoid coronavirus on any of a number of cruise lines. She is retired from JEA, so she is a smart person. The Rotary's current Rotary Club of South Jacksonville's current president is B, and B will step up to be an assistant governor for Area 6 next year. We're looking forward to that. She is dedicated to our club and to district causes. So I would encourage each of you to take a moment to get to know B. If you see her at an event or on a Zoom call, she's a great person, and it's an honor to co-present with her today.
Thank you, Dean. You do that much better than I do. You are a role model. Thank you. So this session is achieving Rotary Citation for this year and district awards. And I'll be talking about the Rotary Citation, and then in the latter half of the presentation, Dean will talk about district awards. And so if we could go to the next slide. Our objectives are to talk about the requirements for a citation, what you have to do to report your achievements, and then to see how your club is progressing, where you can go to do that. And then finally, we'll talk about district awards and recognition overview. And as in other presentations, if you've got questions, go ahead and send them to the chat. Dean is going to start monitoring those as I present, and I will do the same for him as he presents. So let's go to the next slide. In order to achieve a citation this year, you have things broken down into two sections: unite people and take action. At the beginning of the year, it was required for you to achieve 5 of 9 goals in each section, but they changed it due to the coronavirus to where you only now have to achieve 3 goals. That's why you see the strike through in this little formula. So let's go to the next slide. So here are the 9 items that you can do any of the 3 under Unite People. And once you've done 3 of those 9 things, and then 3 of the 9 things under Take Action, you will have received Rotary citations. So for example, conduct a study of your members' occupations and work to align your membership with the mix of businesses and professions in your community. That's one of the things that our club has done. Sponsor or co-sponsor a new Rotary Club or Rotary Community Corp. We've not done that. Sponsor or co-sponsor an Interact or a Rotaract Club. We do both. Host an event for Rotary alumni and highlight Rotary's networking opportunities, or sponsor a youth exchange student or a RILA participant. We've done both of those two things there. Undertake action. There's several things there. Having an active club foundation committee, post your successful club projects with details about activities, volunteer hours, fundraising on Rotary.org. Use Rotary's brand guidelines, templates of people of action, campaign material, and related resources. So those are just a few of the things under these two categories. But once you've done 3 in each, you have achieved a Rotary citation. Let's go to the next screen. So for the Rotary citation, once you've achieved the Rotary citation, you can get a presidential distinction. In order to do that, you have to achieve 1 extra goal, or 2, or 3. If you achieve 1, you'll get a silver distinction. If you achieve 2, you'll get a gold distinction. And if you achieve 3, you'll get a platinum distinction. Let's go to the next screen. And so these are the items that would need to be completed. There's connect leaders, achieve a net gain of 5 or more members, connect family, organize a family-oriented service project that connects families of your members, youth program participants, and others, connect professionally, initiate or continue a leadership, personal or professional development program to enhance members' skills, connect the community, show how your club's members are people of action by promoting your club and its service activities on social media at least 4 times a month. So if you do 1 of those things, you will get a silver distinction. If you do 2, you will get a gold. If you do 3, you would get platinum. So now let's go to the next screen. So where do you report this? You would need to sign in to myrotary.org to report your achievements. And these are the 3 places that you would do it. You would do it in club administration, you would do it on Rotary Club Central, as well as Rotary Showcase. And then right behind those are the steps that you would take to record your activities. If you want to see the progress of how your club is doing, once you've logged into myrotary.org, you can hover over manage, go into club and district administrations, go to the reports, and in the awards section, you'll see the Rotary citation area and just select view report. Next screen. And so with that, we're going to turn it over to Dean, unless there's some questions about how to achieve a Rotary citation. I have recorded almost all of my stuff in Rotary.org and have no problems helping anyone with how to step through that. Just, email me. We'll have my contact information at the end. Dean, do you have, I have not been looking at the chat.
President B, has Rotary International reduced any of the requirements for the presidential distinction portion of the citation?
Yes.
They have?
Oh yeah, 3, I'm sorry.
Yeah, but
yeah,
for the distinction where you have to add items, have they reduced any of those requirements?
No.
So just the underlying base requirements have been reduced?
Yes.
Okay. Very good. So we will make the presentation available to anyone that would like it, or you can screenshot the slides as they are going through. At the end of the presentation, we'll ask District Governor nominee Jeff to run back through the slides and give people a few seconds to screenshot them if they would like to do that. District 6970 offers a number of recognitions. On this slide, you'll see some of them. The Foundation Committee oversees a number of data-driven recognitions for foundation-related items, such as annual giving, Polio Plus giving, etc. These recognitions are usually compiled through the end of the Rotary year, and the recognition given at the summer seminar or the Three Keys seminar that's often held in Orange Park at the Thrasher Horn Center. I suggest that you talk to the Foundation Committee members about any of these recognitions. The support of the Rotary Foundation is extremely important in our district, and our district is one of the leading districts in all of Rotary International in this endeavor. The district membership committee often offers recognitions for various membership-related categories such as growth, membership retention, innovation in membership, the engagement of members. I would suggest that you speak to the membership committee folks about their plans for recognition in this year and the coming year. In this very virtual assembly, you'll hear or have the opportunity to visit some public image sessions where they will talk about different public image recognitions. Davey Hartzell is leading that charge. Some very interesting things going on there with social media and other sorts of platforms where outreach is the goal. Individual honors for Rotarians are listed next. Back on the previous slide there, at the bottom right. The highest honor any individual Rotarian in our district could receive is the Brent Williams Spirit of Rotary Award. The Al Watson Memorial Award, named after a former Keystone Heights Rotarian, is also a high honor for an individual Rotarian in our district. You might recall past District Governor Jeanette had a Rising Star program, which has been carried over into this year. And new on the list, the district governor has a COVID award, which he's talked about a number of times in emails to club presidents as well as in this virtual assembly. The COVID award are for clubs that are thriving during this time of crisis. They're continuing to meet on a regular basis. They're reaching out to all of their members at least every 2 weeks to check on their health and well-being. And they're doing an emergency-related project which engages a number of their members. The response for the COVID award is a simple survey which the club presidents are in possession of and can fill out quickly. Next slide, please, Jeff. The main focus of the awards committee, of which I chair, are the Area Focus Awards for 2019-2020. At this point, I'd like to recognize the folks that serve with me on the awards committee. They represent a cross-section of our district. Becky Parker from the Downtown Ormond Beach Club serves on the committee, as does Karen Hatch from the Bellevue, Ocala area. Christina McLaughlin from the Rotary Club of North Jacksonville is a member of the committee. Past District Governor from District 6880, Sean Asmuth, is a member of our committee. She's a Rotarian in the Rotary Club of West Jacksonville. Our own B4, which you heard from a few minutes ago, serves on the committee. She is the president of the Rotary Club of South Jacksonville. And the committee is rounded out by past District Governor Bill Griffin from Daytona Beach West. So any of those folks I just mentioned can advise clubs on the Area Focus Award. That roster is located on the district website. So if you go to rotarydistrict6970.org, there is a resources tab, and under that tab you will find awards and recognition. And then on those pages you'll find this information as well as the committee roster. District Governor Mike realizes, as we all do, that there are many extraordinary things happening throughout our district. These exemplary activities should be discussed openly, and the best of those should be recognized as model activities for our clubs. So, what is an exemplary activity? Well, exemplary activity is basically an activity that supports Rotary's 6 areas of focus, which are listed there: promoting peace, fighting disease, providing clean water, sanitation and hygiene, supporting or saving mothers and children, supporting education, and growing local economies. That's at the root of it all. But a truly exemplary activity engages Rotarians with each other, engages Rotarians with their families, engages Rotarians with Rotarians from other clubs, engages Rotary as a Rotary community with other entities in our local area, with other entities in our region, and with other entities worldwide. And exemplary activities are also fun. So Rotarians that are engaged and having fun, all while doing worthwhile causes, that's a very attractive proposition. And that attractive proposition serves to bring more Rotarians that are like-minded into our fold. And the more Rotarians that we have in our fold, the more power that we can leverage and the more good that we can do in the world. So let's talk about the methodology. We like clubs to tell us our story. Tell your story of the exemplary activities that you're doing. The Rotary Club may nominate any of their activities for recognition. We ask that you only nominate one activity per year, and we assign that activity to one of the areas of focus. If you have multiple activities that you like to promote or to tell us about, that's great, but please only one activity per area of focus each year. The awards committee and the assistant governors will be responsible for reviewing the applications and for recommending clubs to be recognized. It was going to be at the district conference. Now it will likely be at the summer seminar, 3 Keys to Success. The recognition will be a custom banner or flag for your club. And we would ask that the club strive to earn a banner in all 6 areas. And there's another recognition for clubs that will be able to do that. Jeff, the next slide, please. Here's what the flags or banners might look like. You'd have an area focus award, the area focus in big letters, your club name, and then the year. If you were to earn all 6, then you would be an Excellence in Service Club, and that would be a high honor indeed. Next slide, Jeff. On the district website, you will find an application. It's 1 page. It's designed to be easy to complete and flexible. Simply ask for some basic information, which area of focus that you're going to promote, the name of your activity, and some other basic information. The document on the right is a frequently asked questions document. I won't ask any of you to try to read that font right here, but download it onto your own computer and you can enlarge it as much as you'd like and read it. The whole idea is for this to be simple. We don't want it to be a paperwork burden on the clubs. We don't want it to be a paperwork burden on the district. And we want it to be flexible. So we have already received a number of applications for these awards. They were due in March, but that deadline has been extended to June 1st, 2020 at 5 p.m. And they're all submitted by email to districtawards@rotary6970.org. All that information is at the bottom of the application. So I know it's trying times out there, and I know that clubs are scattered and There are lots of issues that people are attending to that aren't necessarily recognition related, but we would love to hear those stories. So tell us your story. Next slide, Jeff. So we really like to put a lot of information on slides so you can take your time reading it, but these are all the different links that might be helpful for Rotary International Awards, for recognition at the zone level, Zone 34, and for our own district awards, and links to the applications as well. If you'd like to screenshot that or get a copy of the presentation, we'll be happy to make that available.
If you get a copy of the presentation, most of these things are links, so you can just click to it and get there. There was one question about talking about the report. If you go to see the progress as it relates to your citation, and the report is pretty vague, it just kind of tells you how many you've achieved out of the 9. It'll say like 4 of 9 in each category, and then let you know about the distinction. And that's just based upon my memory of running that report a few days ago.
Right. Normally this presentation would be about the upcoming Rotary citation for 2020 and 2021. However, given the circumstances, the deadlines for district awards have been extended to June 1st. So we're covering those primarily today. And the closing date for the Rotary citation is the end of the Rotary year, June 30. So we're refreshing on those as well. I would like to point out that the criteria for 2020-2021 is now posted on the Rotary International website. If you want to go get a head start on the next Rotary year and the Rotary citation, that information is up and available. In short, they've established 25 categories wherein clubs can make their own goals, and clubs should try to achieve 13 goals or 50% plus 1, and they will earn the Rotary citation for 2020-2021. So B is a great resource for 2019-2020 citation, and the new information is also out. Next slide. There we are. Look at us. I'm happy as chair of the awards committee to answer any questions one might have regarding the area focus awards, and I would do my best to help with RI and Zone 34 awards. B is, I'm certain, the top resource for the Rotary citation.
Okay. I don't see anything in the chat at this time.
So we'll open it up for questions. Anyone?
Dean, while we're doing that, I'll start with the beginning and go back through so people can screenshot anything they want.
Thank you very much, Jeff. We appreciate that. I have a question for the attendees while we're doing that. I'd like to hear from folks, since we have 50 or more members on the call right now. How's your mindset about awards, and how are your mindsets about recognition in these trying weeks that we've had here recently? You can answer in the chat, or Jeff can unmute you.
Yeah, you can unmute yourself. I was just trying to keep people from their background noise.
Gotcha.
I think it's a great resource. I think that, you know, despite everything that's happening, I think people need some form or some shred of good news, happy news. So I think it's important for clubs to still strive for this, any award, just as a morale booster. It's my personal thought.
That's a good point. We all could use some good news, as John Krasinski says. Yeah, so on this slide here, it says 5 goals in the blue dirt circles, but that's really 3 goals, right, B?
It really is 3 goals. I thought I had struck through them. It is goals, not 5. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Yeah, I thought it was the first time we went through.
There's one slide where it is. There.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Dean, there's one other piece that just, I don't know that other people realize. For the first time, Rotary International is going to start providing us with who has gotten the citation over the years and
Mhm.
what years you've gotten it. So those of you who succeeded last year, and last year was really tough to get the citation, there were some technical issues that made it a little bit more difficult. Anyway, it would be worthwhile to keep that process going so that you at least have it 3 out of 5 years, 4 out of 5 years, or 5 out of 5 years.
Mhm.
So I just want to let people know that will be the first time that we've had that information available from Rotary International to let the clubs know what your success been from one year to the next.
Is that available only to the district governor, or is that available to all Rotarians?
Well, it was going to be available February. So I was going to ask right around mid-March where it was.
Mhm.
That has since got kind of tossed upside down. So I don't know how it's going to be made available. I do know they're working on it. And I do know that they're kind of getting up to speed now that everybody's out of the headquarters area and working from home.
Mhm. All right.
So I don't have a perfect answer for you there, Dean. Sorry.
Beth on the chat said that she made a laminated board with all the citation requirements for 2019, 2020 and kept it in front of her membership at each of the meetings, and that helped them to achieve the award. Good
Mhm.
job.
B, I know you've done something similar in our club. Communication of the goals and tracking of the goal progress is such an important aspect of this.
Yes, we did a laminated board like that, but we also did some updates at the board meetings as well as putting flyers on the table to keep people up to date.
Is anyone on the call feel like their club is struggling to meet the Rotary citation requirements for 2019, 2020?
Dean,
Go ahead.
Dean, I had an interesting takeaway from Mike and Catherine's presentation, last one, which I think relates here. And that's, Mike and I have been talking about membership for the last 5 years, and I think he and I have had some pretty significant discussions about what the future looks like, and sometimes it gets depressing.
Mhm.
And over the last couple of months, Mike and I have had some other significant discussions. But what I walked away from Mike and Catherine's presentation was, we could view this as a threat to our clubs, or we could view this as an opportunity for our clubs. And I think Mike and Catherine gave some just amazing ideas on things we can do moving forward. And some of those ideas allow us to rethink how we could meet the awards, because things we might not have thought about before, now all of a sudden, because clubs have pivoted, become ways to meet the awards today.
Mhm. So give us an example of the pivoting that you just referenced.
I think some of the things that people are doing for hospital workers, the fact that clubs may have some money that they didn't have before because they're not charging for meals. I think helping people in retirement communities in different ways that we haven't done before because of sheltering in place. There were just a number of things that they talked about that I don't know that my club had thought about some of those things, and there are things that could be easy fits for my club.
Mhm.
I also think that as you went through your presentation on the 6 areas of focus, there's a lot of things that I don't know that my club has applied for an award before, but all of a sudden we've been doing some of those things. And now what you're doing is offering people opportunities to be recognized for them.
So many of the folks that we used to be shoulder to shoulder with in our service efforts have now become seriously impacted by this crisis and have found themselves in need of help, like the people that we used to work with them to help. So it is an interesting dynamic. The restaurant, food service workers, the healthcare workers, people that have been laid off or furloughed or lost their jobs. So many different types of people and different opportunities for service now.
Dean and B, this is Catherine in St. Augustine. So Jeff, thanks for the nice words about my and Mike's presentation. A lot of those ideas too, of course, are from local clubs in our district, just different things that that they are working on to survive and thrive during this time. Certainly kind of focusing on, it'll be helpful, I think, to have the reduction in the number of requirements for the presidential citation. I think, like you say, oh gosh, am I going to be able to get this now? But maybe working on retaining some members that you might have lost during this period and adding a few to get some of those membership requirements. And in addition, the areas of focus awards, especially the one relating to the economy and perhaps disease prevention, some of the COVID projects that people are doing may tie in and relate directly to those things in an unexpected way.
Mm-hmm.
Dean,
Yes.
I have a few comments. I'm in DeLand, and I was an area governor for 6 years, and then awards chair during Marshall's year. And one of the things I found is that many club presidents will say they really don't care about the award, even when you explain to them some of the comments here that it really helps a club take stock, have goals, stay on track. And some say they're just too busy to go in and mark everything they've done on the RI website. So something I've been doing for my club presidents each year is I do it for them. I go in, and when we've accomplished our goals, I go in and mark it for them. So I have that suggestion for club presidents, to get someone in your club to help you with that. And even for the district awards, get someone to help you with that. And if they don't have access to it on RI, the president can delegate them, use that delegation feature. So, and last year in my club, when I offered to the president, he just said, you know, I really don't care and don't bother. So I did it for a bit, but then when I said, you know, if we did this, we would get the award, he said, I don't care, and move on. So he did not get a high rating as club president last year.
Karen, I remember all the hard work you did as awards chair, and thank you for your service to the district. We appreciate it. And Atlanta was a lot of fun too.
And Dean, I want to echo those comments that Karen made, because I was club president the year she was awards chair, and I had no idea what I was doing, and I just picked up the phone and called her, and we got recognized with a fair number of awards that year. And so this is really just a reminder about Dean and B as being resources, because as club president, you just don't know all this stuff, and we have so much expertise in the district. Take advantage of it.
Yeah.
Absolutely. When I went to Pets and they started talking about this and the things that you had to do, I started to hyperventilate. And so I spent months trying to figure out where things needed to go before my year started, because I felt like, as Karen said, and I've seen some other comments through the chats, that it was important for the clubs to know what Rotary was looking for them to do, and it gave them focus.
Let me offer something also from a different perspective. I worked for an organization for 30 years that for the first 20 years really wasn't a successful organization. And what I came to realize was it was up to us in the trenches to make a difference. And yeah, the leadership could make a difference over the multiple years, but the thing that really determined our success was whether a bunch of us banded together and started getting something going. So when you look at awards like this, if you're not finding your president or somebody able to have the bandwidth to do that. There are a lot of good reasons why that happens. Like life happens and all of a sudden they've got a family or a business situation. They really, really could use some folks to step in and say, hey, I think we could get this. Will you let me do it? And believe me, as a president or a district governor, when somebody comes and says, I'm willing to do the work to make this happen, we're already pretty close to it. That is the mark of an excellent club that keeps producing results when they develop that amount of bench strength.
Mhm. Similarly, when I was president, I did task someone to track and report the Rotary citation, and it was very helpful. It was great moments in delegation by me. We were able to earn the award, and I still have it over on the other side of my office. It's something I reflect on all the time. So I think President B has done a great job in our club of communicating and tracking and understanding the process. And it takes a little bit of legwork, but I think it's well worth it in the long run.
Thank you. And Jeff has made a comment here that in their club, it's the job of the vice president to complete the awards. And that's a good idea. That would prepare the person before their president.
Yeah, because in our club, that's the first succession office. It goes VP, president-elect.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Good,
Yeah.
good. With regard to the Area Focus Awards, part of the reason for that award is to let other people in our very expansive district know what's happening. Working out loud, someone once said. Our district geographically spans from the Florida-Georgia line down to Edgewater, over to Ocala, up back through Gainesville, and here, not to mention here in Jacksonville. As assistant governor for Area 6, I find it hard just to keep up with the 6 clubs that are in our area, one of which is my own. I would love to hear what's happening at Ocala Brick City. I'd love to hear about what's happening in DeLand. And this is a way for clubs to share their story. And nothing in Rotary is proprietary. There are tons of good ideas, and you never know where the next great idea is going to come from. And I think that it's very helpful when we can talk and share about these things.
Well, and Dean, as people think about next year, we had an inspiring presentation yesterday about this project in Mexico. And for clubs who want to stick their toe into global grants, which is a way for recognition in 2020, 2021, there's a grant that all you have to do is contribute to it, and now you're part of a global grant. What an opportunity.
Absolutely.
I have a question. Going back to B's comment about hyperventilating, been there, done that. Thank you, B, for admitting that. Is there a group, like, I don't know, a Facebook group or a chat room that allows the president-elects and then presidents coming in to chat or to meet once a month? Or, because I look at it this way, if I'm having issues or questions, chances are there's other president-elects and then presidents having the same question or issue. Is there anything set up like that?
Beth, I don't believe there is, but here is what we started doing as district governors. I did not do it this year, and I probably should have, but there's no reason why the presidents can't do it. And that's to set up a WhatsApp chat group. It does have to be disciplined because unfortunately we found the first one we set up had one great idea, and then out of the 70 people, we would have probably about 40 responses to that one idea. So your phone just kept going for the next 2 days. Bing, bing, with, wow, great idea. Hey, thanks, Beth. So we didn't limit it and encourage people to start squishing it down. But I would be glad to send out, so I'll talk with Rich about that and find out if he's willing to set up a WhatsApp chat group. I think it's
It looks like Bob just offered something as well.
Yes.
Well, you can always reach out to the district trainer.
Yeah, yeah.
That's what I'm here
Yeah.
for.
No, I know that, Carolyn, and I do appreciate that. But sometimes it's just easier as a conversation, because again, if I'm having a problem, chances are someone else is. So maybe that sharing, we could get a little bit more accomplished altogether.
Well, and I
Hey,
think you
Beth.
may be able to email all of the president-elects through DACDB. And maybe that's a way to, if you have something that you'd
Right.
like to share, considering that, you know, maybe not all of them would be on Facebook, or else I'd say a Facebook
True.
group, you know.
Here's
But I
my
think that
offer.
your status at this point will let you do that.
This is Bob Simino from the Amelia Island Sunrise. I'd be happy to set up once a month or once a quarter a Zoom room from my retired office up here in Amelia Island, and have them, as they want to, just sent out a monthly or quarterly invitation to them to join, and whoever comes, and we could set up an agenda where people, either at the president, vice president, secretary, whatever level, we could do that with all the clubs.
Hey, Mike's Dara.
Mhm.
I know you have a lot of great area governors this year, but one area in particular is just an awesome area governor who holds meetings once a month with all his presidents and presidents-elects, and they do exactly that. They talk about the things that they need to know, and I'm a little jealous because my area wasn't doing that, but that area gets together every month. Not everybody can make it every month, but they can send someone in their place. And my husband's club is in that group. And I mean, when he was president, it was just really helpful to him. And he's been going this year too, because now he's area governor 1 and he's joining with them in those meetings. But if we can encourage all of our area governors to do that, it's only what, 5 to 7 clubs. It's hard enough getting 5 to 7 presidents and president-elects to all be available the same day, same time, once a month. But it was extremely helpful to all of them. Beth,
That's our area 8, and we meet about every 5 to 6 weeks. And you get the feel for all the other, you've met your PEs the year before, so you're moving into being president, which I am this year, and now you know all the people in the group. We meet about 5 to 6 weeks. We usually go to a restaurant. Just so happens when we're in the restaurant, we usually ask them if they'd like to be one of our dine around restaurants. They usually agree because we're always, going to different ones. But the nice part is about halfway through the year, starting about January, we start also inviting our PEs for the next year. So now we have the presidents and the PEs, and they're kind of getting the feel of what's going on, so they continue it on. It's really extremely helpful. And then if you have a question, your area 8 governors, like Ken is our area governor, Mike Pepin is our membership in area 8. You can ask them those questions. Jim's there, and he gets to, we can ask them questions and they can help us because they've been through this all before. I would tell every area to do this. It is one of the best things I liked as a president.
Mhm.
Well,
I think what's going to change is we've been encouraging people to meet quarterly. I think with Zoom now, it's going to make it a lot easier. We put together 2 COVID grants, and we did this by having the ability to communicate because Area 7's been working really closely together for the last 3 years.
Mhm.
when the area governors can meet quarterly with the president-elects and the presidents, it really helps provide a lot more continuity and helps people become more confident in their presidential year also. By the way, since I'm talking, I have pulled our lucky numbers.
Oh, great.
Hey,
how do we know what our number is?
Well, you don't, because Marie is going to pull the log that has everybody listed, and then she's going to put the numbers, corresponding numbers 1 through whatever, the way it comes out, and then she's going to notify people via email.
Okay.
And it also helps if Marie likes you.
Mhm.
So there is one question in the chat that I can't answer, but maybe someone can. And it says, we have e-clubs which works, but now we can start a new subsection of members in each club, remote members, to keep the good members that have moved. What kind of requirements would we put on them to be members that can be counted towards our membership?
You want me to answer that as membership chair next year?
Please.
And as past membership chair. So you have the authority to do whatever you need to do to bring in somebody who's going to add value to your club. How you define different categories of membership is up to you. The whole designation of an e-club disappeared in 2019 when somebody had the forethought to realize we're probably going to have a lot of people using Zoom or using other tools like that to have some sort of flexibility. And sure enough, they didn't realize we'd all be using it. But after this is all finished, and that's one of the things we talked about in the previous session, after this is all finished, most of the clubs that have answered a survey said they would be using Zoom to some extent. So you've got that flexibility. You've got the flexibility about how to charge them. For them to count at Rotary International, they have to pay Rotary International dues of roughly $85 a year and district dues of roughly $45 a year. Where they are, that is up to you. I will say this, when it comes down to service, there are some things that define what your club is. So you do want to think about what your club is. The downtown club, I'll give you an example, in Jacksonville, grew as a tremendous amount this year, more than any other club in members, because they know they're a business-oriented club from the downtown area, and they focus on programs and activities strictly in that area. But other clubs aren't like that. So if your club isn't, and you know where you are, your only limit is your creativity and how you bring similar sorts of people into your effort.
Thank you, Mike, for that good answer. This is Göran Fredriksson at the OP Sunrise Club. I wrote the question, and that really makes a lot of sense. I appreciate it, and we have a lot of past moved away members that we now will contact again, I think, to hook up with again.
Yeah, Göran, I think one thing that helps is when you think about this, if you think of it's more than just a one-off thing, once you start branding it and deciding that it's a, whatever you want to call it, corporate membership, remote member, all those sorts of things, whatever it is, if you come up with something that is a good brand for that, that helps you communicate in your club, because your club members have to help you develop that as well, and also helps you develop with those people you're trying to attract.
Thank you.